that the church, after Christ, is doing great things. The apostles are going out to different areas of the world, and they're starting these communities and these churches. These communities and these churches are going on, and they're sustaining themselves. People notice that in the letters of Peter and the letter of Paul, that eventually they'll begin to write these communities. It's almost kind of like a pep talk. You know, remember when I was there, I told you this and that, and now you're falling back into your old ways, and so I'm going to try to get you back on track. In fact, Paul would come back and visit every now and then just to make sure they were listening and proclaiming the letters. In the second reading, Jesus is about to ascend into heaven. We almost get the feeling that he doesn't want to go. I mean, you can imagine. He chose these apostles, and then they're getting toward the end of his life, and they're still not getting it. There are times when he says, "How long must I be with you? Do you still not understand?" There are times when it says they were afraid to ask him what he meant because he pretty much yelled at them earlier. And yet you can also imagine that he got to know some people so well. Martha and Mary Magdalene, Mary the mother of Clopas, Lazarus, these various disciples that he had around there. And yet he says, "I will not leave you orphans. I will come to you." So I imagine, when we talk about the ascension, which we will celebrate this week, that Jesus wanted to stay, but he had to go. He wanted to stay, but he had to go. And so did I. Bishop McFadden has appointed me pastor of St. Joan of Arc Church. One of the hardest parts of this vocation is obedience, for lack of a better term. And I was at Father Walterscheid's Mass a few weeks ago, Bishop Walterscheid. And we were in the basement, we were vesting. And the bishop made a beeline for me. And I tried to run away. And then I started making talk. I thought, he's coming for graduation of Lebanon Catholic, so we're making arrangements here. Would you like to join us for dinner? He said, "I need to talk to you." And he essentially said, "I've appointed you pastor of St. Joan of Arc. Do you accept?" And I said, "Bishop, I pretty much love where I am right now, and we have a lot of irons in the fire, a lot of stuff going on, and it's, but it's kind of a 6-year plan. It's not a 3-year plan. It's a 6-year plan. And, Joan of Arc's a big place and everything else, and I'm probably not experienced enough." And he said, "I appoint you pastor of Joan of Arc. You accept?" And I said, "Out of obedience." So I thought I had 3 more years, and it turns out I have 3 more weeks. And so in that time, there is much work to be done. And I would encourage you that it is not the priest that makes the community. The community makes the church. These apostles came to places and they got things started up, and then they moved. They went on to a different place. And those communities, because they coalesced so well, combinations you never thought possible, and maybe some people you thought you'd never get together. And because they coalesce so well, they continue on. So priests will come and priests will go. But the community, that's what makes the parish. So the priest coming here is actually a friend of mine. I was glad to hear when Bishop told me that he would be the new pastor here at St. Benedict the Abbot. And he is very bilingual. And he has the heart of a priest. And just loves the people of God. Loves the Eucharist. And so when Father Walter Guzman comes here, I would encourage you to embrace him as you have him. And to raise him up and to work with continue to build up this community with his leadership, not because of his leadership. Because we realize that anything good that happens is from God. Now, for whatever reason, Bishop McFadden has reappointed me as chaplain at Lebanon Catholic. I thank God for that. It's like icing on the cake. But in the days ahead, we have many things to get ready in order to prepare for his arrival. I just want you to bear in mind, as I ask for your prayers, that anything good that happens is because of the Lord. That we might one day echo with the psalmist, and I will tell my children's children's children that these things